Hi friends, welcome to my word processing class using Microsoft Office Word for beginners. Day 3. Bam, 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 bam. That means we've made progress so far from day 1 to day 2 and now we are in day 3. I'm your excited facilitator of Sakawaka by name. Sakawaka is spelled Sakawaka. I have four A's in my name. And we are still on the home tab here. Yeah, we are still on the home tab, and last time day 2 we looked at fonts. Today we'll be paying very close attention at paragraph, and after paragraph day 4 we look at clipboard and some other things. But for today we are focusing on paragraph. Ba 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 bam, bam bam bam. Like I told you, I'm your joyous facilitator, always in the happy mood, happy to teach you and take you through the journey of becoming a professional user of Microsoft Office Word. So let's dive into what we have. The first thing here is bullet and numbering. These two are like pair, they are like twins, the same way we have bread and butter. Yes, akara and bean. Akara is actually what is called bean cake, but the bean cake is called akara in the local Nigerian palace. So akara and bread, you have like boy and girl, you understand, just something that have a pair to it. That is how bullet and numbering are. Now bullet and numbering are both used for listing items. Yes, for listing items. The difference between them is that this bullet here uses symbols to list items, while numbering uses actual numbers or alphabets to list items. Apart from that, they are pretty much the same thing, except that bullet uses symbols while numbering uses numbers and alphabets. So let me do this. Let me say I want to say lists of food items. Yes, and I want to list them. What I will do is, if I want to use symbols to list my work, I'll come to bullet. You see it now, and then from here I will choose any bullets of my choice. Now if you look here, we have just 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 bullets. That doesn't mean that these 7 things are the only things that can be used for bulleting. If you want any bullet that is not here, what we do is that we click on define new bullet. Most people haven't used this feature before, but you are fortunate to have the joyous Sakawaka teaching you and taking you through this journey of becoming a professional Microsoft Office Word user. So let's continue with what we have. You click on define new bullet. When you click on it, this dialog box appears, which is define new bullet, and then you have symbols. Here you can use all of these for your bullet. Crazy, right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, so you can basically choose any of these things. Let's say I want to choose this one. Let me see this one. I want to use it for my bullet. I'll just click on it and click on OK, and then I will OK it. Now come here. You see it has been added. You see it, and you can see it is already here as my bullet. So let me go back to my define new bullet. Now I have used symbol. Now I can also use pictures. There are some documents that you will see, and the bullet is not a symbol. In fact, it's not something you've seen before. That bullet probably might be a picture that the person insert. So how do you do that? You click on that picture, and then you click on work offline, because my system is not connected to the internet subscription is something else in Nigeria. It's actually very, very, very expensive, and except it is necessary for me to do so, I don't just put on my internet. Yeah, I'm still growing. So I'll just click on walk offline, and this my dialog box will come up. What I'll do is to look for where the picture is. Let me see if I have pictures here. Come on. And from here, let me use this my logo, or should I use this one? Let me use this oh God arise. Click on it and then insert it. Now you see this now coming as my bullet. It's actually a picture. As you can see, it's actually a picture from my this thing. And then I just open it and click and then insert. As you can see, so I'll okay it. You can now see it. This has been added there as my bullet. So in case you want to use a bullet that is not listed there, you can always define it. So let me use this one here. I like it. Now, list of food items. Let me say Gary. Gary is a is a lifesaver food in Nigeria. We don't play with it. So number one, Gary. Once you press your enter key, it automatically creates a new bullet for you to work with. Gary, let me say akara, which is the bean cake. Akara beans cake. I press enter, and then the next one, I love beans. I love beans, and I press enter. The next one probably will be egusi soup. Yes, in Nigeria, egusi soup is melon soup. God, it's a lifesaver. You understand it now? So I have my bullet, just listing the items using symbols. This is the handwork of bullet. Now, what will happen if I want to stop using a particular bullet and move on to something else? I will press the enter key once, which is the first time, and then I press the enter key again. It breaks. You see it. Another way is that once I press the enter key and my bullet comes in, I can decide to come here and click none. You see it. It goes back. But the thing is, check this indent. You see it. It's taking me to the starting of my bullet. So if I want to go back to this place, to where this list is, so that I can start something in this same line, what I'll do will be to press my backspace. You get it, backspace, which can be avoided or overcome by just pressing the enter once and then press it the second time. You see it returns this my indent to where my list is. So depending on what you want, you can use either the no bullet or the enter keys. Now here I have a list of food items as the first part. Now let me say list of Nigerian states. Yeah, and I press enter. Here I want to use numbering. So if I click on numbering, I have so many numbering options. Like I told you, numbering is used for listing items using numbers or alphabets so you can see them, right? So let me choose this conventional one. Click on it, and then Nigerian state. I have River State, which is where I am currently. As I press enter, it's pretty much the same thing as working with bullet. So River State, next one is Ondo State, which is my state of origin. And then I have Delta State, which is also my state of origin. My dad is from Ondo State, my mom is from Delta State, and I reside in River State. Wonderful. And let me use Niger State. Yes, Niger State is where I did my NYSC. If you are in Nigeria, the NYSC is a compulsory thing for all graduates. So if I want to stop using the bullet and move on to something else, what I'll do, I'll press my enter key twice, or I come here and then click on none. So I'll just press my enter one, come here and click on none, or I can just press my enter key the second time and returns the indent to the margin. You see, returns the indent to the margin, and that is how bullet and numbering works. Now, some other thing that I would like you to know, I'll come back to this multi-level, and then the decrease indent and the increase indent. I will take the three of them the same time. Now here I will take you through alignment. I've talked about bullet and numbering. Now let's go to alignment. Now for alignment, it tells you how the position of your text, the position of your text on the work area. By default, our document is aligned to the left hand side, which is why anything you type start from the left hand side. Anything you type start from the left hand side. So let me just see something like this. For example, I want to type the name of my church. You can see that everything is starting from the left hand side. The Redeemed Christian Church of God. Redeemed. Oh, I missed the Christian. The Redeemed Christian Church of God. You see it, everything is starting from the left. However, if I come here and then I click at the center, it will take this right up to the center, and anything I type will be at the center. So here, if I see it now, this is center align, Control E. If I press the enter key, I will have, you see everything starting from the center, Jesus Choice area. You see it now, yeah. So if I press enter again, it's starting from the center because my alignment is centralized. It's order of service for Holy Communion. I don't know where I got this paper from. I'm such a church guy. Yeah. So left alignment makes everything to start typing from the left and center. You've seen it, everything starts from the center. Automatically, if I click on the center alignment, it moves my cursor to the right hand side of the work area, and anything I type will start from that right, depending on what you want. So since it is an order of song, let me use this for example. Let me number it here. Now you see it is starting from the right and not from the left, neither is it starting from the center. It is starting from the right because my alignment states that what it should be aligned right. So from here I have the opening prayer, which is always the first thing in every Christian gathering. Opening prayer, and I have hymn. Where am I? Yes, you have the hymn 1. If I press enter, I have Bible reading. Now you see everything starting from the right? It doesn't mean that it's wrong, it's just my alignment. What will happen if I now click at the left alignment? You see it has taken it back to the left, and I can now have my choir ministration. And I have the word, and I have word of exaltation. Words of exaltation. Now you see it. What I'm doing is demonstrating how each of these things work. It doesn't mean that this is how a conventional document looks like, except that is how you want it. I'm just trying to illustrate how the various things in paragraph works. So with that being said, you now understand these left align, center align, and right align. Now what you'll be asking is, what is the work of this justify? What is the work of this justify? Now let me type something. It is going to take time a little, but just bear with me. Let me see. Alright, I break this out, and then look at this now. Let me just narrate a simple story. Say in the year 2020, Yeah, in the year 2020, I entered an interview to work interview to work as an IT facilitator faced with the HM. She asked me as an IT facilitator, how can you prove to me that you are truly vast and knowledgeable in the field of IT? Well, I looked at her and smiled. I smiled because that is like someone asking me to prove that I am big. Sakawaka. Oh, yeah. So I looked her straight in the eyes and told her that I will convince her of my knowledge and she will be sure of it without me touching the computer. Now let me stop here because of time. Now if you look at this, let me highlight so you see what I'm trying to show you. You can see how each of these breaks, you can see the end. Look at my highlighting properly. You see, now for me to make everything straight up the way this line is, you can see both ends are straight as though they are measured by ruler. Now for me to achieve that, I'll just click on my justify. Now look at the highlighting again. You see how straight the edges are, right? That is the work of justify. Without the work of justify, you can see how they are looking untidy and so on. But if I justify it, everything comes to line up, and that is how the justify is used. So you have the left alignment, the center, the right, and then the justify. You appreciate this justify better if you have a document with a lot of text and you apply it. It makes everything fall into place, well arranged, as though you used ruler to measure the margin where everything should end. So that is that for the justify. Now the next thing here is line and paragraph spacing. Now by default, this is our paragraph spacing. I think it's 1.0. Yeah, it's 1.0. That is our default. I think so. Now the paragraph is telling us the space between these lines, like this in the year 2020 and then faced with the HM. These are two different lines. The paragraph space is talking about this space this space between the two lines. That is what it is talking about. It's telling you the space between each line. Yes. So if I should highlight this, the bigger the number, the bigger the space. Now you see 3.0, for example, you see that the space has increased. Likewise, if I come here and I choose 2.0, it has reduced, but the space is still there compared to 1.0. And if I click on 1.0, you see the space is still there, but it's closed. So that is how it works for the line spacing. So you can remove space after, and you can add space before. Like before the paragraph, you add space, and after the paragraph, you add space. So if I remove the space before the paragraph, you see it, and then I remove the space after, you can see they are now closed up compared to when there was space here. You see there's space now, and if I remove it, they will be closed up. You just have to pay very keen attention to it. You see, so that is how paragraph and line spacing and paragraph spacing, that is how they work. The line spacing is this, and the paragraph spacing is what spaces one paragraph from the other. I think I use both of them interchangeably, line and paragraph spacing. So if I want more options, I just click on line spacing options, and you'll be faced with this paragraph. What I will advise is that you experiment with them, and anywhere you get confused, let me know, and I will make a special video for you on how to use this dialog box. But because of time, I will just leave it at what we see here, and then move on to, I've talked about this shading before. The next I want to talk about is this show or hide. It's very important. The show and hide, when you click on it, it shows you where your line stops, where you have spaces. Like this dot is telling me that I use the space bar. Most people don't use it because they consider it not useful. But for professionals like me, if someone should, for example, submit a CV or a work, one of the ways I will just catch my phone to know that you are not really a professional is by clicking on this show or hide. And I click on it, it tells me, okay, this person pressed space bar here. This is for space bar. This person pressed space bar here. Okay, here this person pressed oh sorry, this is for enter key. This is for enter key. This one is enter key, and then this dot is for space bar. So it's telling me this person pressed space bar here. This person pressed enter key here, and this person used a tab key here. The tab key is on your keyboard. I will teach you how to use tabs as a bonus after day 5. I will create a very special video for that on how to use tab. Yes, I promise I will do that. So it means that this person actually used tab here. As you can see, there's a tab, this is space bar work, and this is enter key. So it helps you to know how the person works on his or her document. It's not going to show when you print any, it's just here on the screen. Just like grid lines don't show when you print. This is your grid line view. They don't show when you print, they only appear on your screen. So back to home and paragraph. That is for show or hide. Now another thing is, let me remove it so you don't get confused by them. Another thing is sorting. How can I sort? For example, if I have numbers, look at this, I have random numbers 2, 4, 5, 1, and then I want to arrange them in order. What I will do, I will highlight them and then come here to sort. If I click on sorting, you see the sort text. I can now decide to sort them ascending or descending. Let me sort ascending. Now okay, you see everything gets arranged from 1 to 5, and then if I click and sort in the descending order, you see start from 5 to 1. The same thing that will happen here if I should sort this in ascending to start from A, B, and so on. So let me sort in ascending order. Take note, look at this part and then see the change now. Now you see it start from A, B, E, G, and then if I should sort this in descending order, see it in a descending order. I okay it. Okay, R-O-N-D, and if I should sort it in ascending order, see it from the smallest to the biggest. So that is how sort works. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about today in this video is the use of multi-level. Yes, multi-level list. So here now, let me highlight these, and so you can see it, highlight it and copy it here. Tomorrow I will show you how to copy and paste. So I paste and then I remove all this now, take them back by default. This is how they will be. Let's say I type something like this. Yes, now, or let me type it again. Okay, let me say list of phones. List of phones. Number one, I have Techno phone, I have Samsung, I have iPhone, I have Infinix, I have which one am I using? Okay, I'm using Techno currently, Infinix, and which other phone product? Now that I need phone names, that my brain is becoming blank. What is happening to me? Nothing. All right, so let me use this now. Under Techno, I can have Techno Camon 17, I have Camon 18, I have Camon 19, and then under iPhone, I can have iPhone 11 Pro Max, I can have iPhone 7, I can have iPhone 8, for example. Now look at this, it's looking like it is not making sense right now. I will highlight everything. I'm trying to explain the multi-level, and then I choose any type of multi-level that I want. Let's say this one. I click on it. Everything is labeled. I don't like that one. I don't like it. Let me choose. Let me choose this one. Oh, this one is making sense. Let me use it now. So now it looks as though, like, what is the essence? It's the same thing as bullet and ombre now. Okay, now this this is where multi-level comes in. Now, list of phones. All these are phones, right? Yes, they are all phones. So what I will do, I will increase my indent. You see it? You see it? You see? By increasing my indent, it moves the indent. And then you can see one, I have 1A, right? Now, under 1A, all these Camon 17 to Camon 19, they fall under Techno. So I will increase my indent. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Okay, under iPhone, I have iPhone 11 to iPhone 8. I move my indent. Now you can see how organized it is. And that is why it is called the multi-level list. That is why it is called the multi-level. Yeah, that's why it is called the multi-level list. These are it works. When you have a subset of a particular thing, you use the multi-level for it. So if there's any part I have explained that you don't understand, please, you are very, very important to me. Take that to heart. I mean it. So if there's any part of this tutorial that you do not understand, let me know. I will take out of my time to explain it again, even though it means me calling you via voice call, video call, or doing a personalized video to further explain that concept, I will. And that is because I appreciate the fact that you deem me fit to be able to teach you and walk you through the journey of becoming a professional user of Microsoft Office Word. You are a darling. I love you. In fact, if I should see you physically, I will give you a darling hug. So I think that is all for paragraph. We've talked about bullet and numbering. In fact, we started with bullet and numbering, then with alignment, and then we looked at multi-level list, and then the indent. You see the indent, this is the indent. When you increase, it increases your indent, and anywhere these things are, that is where you start typing from. So as you can see, by default, this is your indent. You see it. Look at the cursor. If I should increase my indent, you see my cursor is moving right. That, and if I want to type, I start typing from there. I press enter. I start typing from there. If I decrease my indent, you see it moves backward because I decrease my indent. And then if I increase my indent, you see it. So that is how it works for indent. And in using it, I used it to explain how to work with the multi-level list. And then I talked about line and paragraph spacing, talked about sort, talked about hide and show or show and hide. I already discussed this in the previous lesson of the 2. So practice and let me know how far you understand it. And if you have any question, ask me. I'm here for you and for you alone. I love you. See you in the day 4 tutorial. Yeah. Crisis. Yeah. Let me move this. Yes. That is it. You can see how our work is looking. Alright, so that is all for today. See you in the day